Okay, let's go ahead and get going with reading small group this morning. So, lots of friends having issues to get into the chart, so I wanted to make sure everybody knows how to do that. So it looks completely different on my end than on your end. So I'm going to show what I see on my end first, and then I'm going to have a friend show what they see on their end so you can see the difference. So if I am in it, if I click on classwork and I click on Love That Dog, How Jack Feels. Whoops. Let me scroll down a little bit. Let's go to this one, Love That Dog, chapter 6 and 7. I see it like this, which I think you guys see it like this as well. If you click on the link that takes you to the video of today's chapter, if you click on this, it should take you to the Love That Dog assignment, okay, which is this, How Jack Feels. Now you can get there as well. You can get there as well by just going to the Love That Dog, How Jack Feels. Either way gets you to this right here, okay? But this is where it looks different for me and for you, because for mine, it looks like this. I want somebody to share their screen that, Bella, you did the assignment last week, yes? Yes, okay, go ahead and share your screen, Bella, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so Bella, click on, click on Shade 2021.
Let me cross the door. Go cross the door. It's my turn.
Okay, Bella, I'm gonna, whoops, you unshared it. Click share again. There we go. Okay, click on the Shade 2021 tab. Here, Bella, I'm gonna request access for your mouse. So click accept or allow or whatever it says. Okay, now Mrs. Shade has taken over your mouse. Okay, so if you're here, if you're on the classwork tab, and you go to either this one or this one, either one, again, gets you the same place. If you click on Love That Dog and click on the sign in Google accounts, it's just going to take you to the Love That Dog, How Jack Feels. You can access it from this place too. Either way, it takes you to the same place. But if you notice, Bella last week, when she did it, she submitted her assignment. Well, that was the step I forgot to tell you guys last week, is that we're going to continue to use this chart throughout the entire book. So what Bella needs to do is she needs to click unsubmit, and it says, don't forget to resubmit once you're done, and she's going to click unsubmit, and then she's going to click into her assignment that has her name on it. And when she clicks there, she will then see everything that she did last week, okay? That doesn't change. So let's go, I'm gonna zoom in on her thing a little bit just so we can see it a little bit better. So in the first couple pages, Jack was told to write poetry. He doesn't like it. And we know he doesn't like it because in the book he said it's for girls and he's not good at it. This is very, very, very much like what we do in science, where we make a guess. So how Jack feels, it doesn't come out and say exactly how he feels. We can tell he doesn't like it because he says it's for girls. But how he feels is a guess on our end, okay? Us saying that he's annoyed, it doesn't come out and say that he's annoyed. But then what happened is kind of like our evidence in science, because it says that in the book. What happened? That says it in the book. He doesn't understand the poem he read. And then the how did you know is just like the reasoning in science, where you take this and this and put it together. I know Jack's annoyed because he said that if a poem is a poem, that he says if a poem can be a poem, any words can be a poem. I put this and this together, okay? So don't make this harder than it is, because it's just the feeling that you get from it, what is actually said in the book, and then putting them together. Okay, so I'm gonna actually share Bella's right here. Jack wrote a poem about a car. He's disappointed, and she knows that he's disappointed because he didn't like the poem. Okay. So today's, you are just doing pages 6 and 7. Okay. The rest of the chart, don't worry about. The rest of the chart, we're going to continue to fill in as we go along. So you're just going to tell what happened in today's, how Jack feels about it, and then how did you know? Okay. But if you were a person that did not fill out this first page, you need to go back and re-watch that video from last week and fill in this chart, because Mrs. Shade actually gives you all the answers for this one, this one, this one, for all of pages 1 and 2, for all of pages 3, and then you just had to do page 4 on your own. Okay. But today's assignment, you're just doing pages 6 and 7. All right. Okay, I'm going to unshare fellow screen. Does that help everybody out? Knowing to unsubmit it? Now, if you were a person that did not turn it in last time, it's still going to say your name up in that upper right-hand corner, and you're going to click on your name under Google Slides and get into it. Okay? Adrian, question.
Yeah, you have office hours after this through 11.
I do have office hours right after this. So if you have questions, you just pop on to Zoom and it'll tell me that you're on, and I'll come get on, okay?
Okay, I was just making sure because I don't understand the unsubmitting much, so I can get back on with you.
Yep. And like I said, if I'm not sitting there on Zoom, my phone blings that someone has gotten onto Zoom, and then I know to get on, okay? I've got it all connected. Because a lot of times I'll be working on computers when I'm not on with you guys, and if I see that someone's gotten onto Zoom, then I can get back onto Zoom as well, okay? Any other questions? But there is an unsubmit button there. Just click unsubmit. Now, if yours doesn't say unsubmit, that means you didn't turn it in last time, and that's okay because we're not done with it, okay? But it will say your name with Google Slides right underneath it, and you just click on your name, okay? Lila, you got a question?
This isn't anything about that, but I've been wondering, were you actually going to be a 4th grade teacher this year anyways, or are you just doing it because of the pandemic?
So they actually did have enough students where they needed a 7th, because there's 7 of us. They actually did need a 7th, 4th grade teacher. Originally, no, they were going to interview for another 4th grade teacher. But then, because of the pandemic, Mrs. Shade's class is all about sharing supplies and working in small groups. And so they were like, oh, Makerspace can't happen this year. And so Mrs. Weber came to me and said, I know you've taught 4th grade in the past. Would you like to teach 4th grade again? And because I'm well-versed in technology, she was like, and on top of teaching 4th grade, would you like to teach 4th grade virtually? And I said, yes, I will. Because I do miss being a classroom teacher too, because I did that for many, many years before I became a Makerspace teacher. I'm sad that I can't do Makerspace, but since I can't do Makerspace, this is the next best option, right?
Yeah. When you were just like a 4th grade teacher, you were Miss Teaster, right?
That's correct. And actually, I taught 4th grade for a few years, and then I taught 3rd grade for a few years. So I shouldn't say a few years. I taught 3rd grade for 12 or 13 years. So I taught 3rd grade for a long time. But I taught 4th grade for 5 years before I became a 3rd grade teacher. So yes, a lot of your friends or siblings or cousins, if they had me in 3rd grade, they would have known me as Miss Teaster, because that was before I got married.
How old were you when you first started teaching?
Right out of college. So,
whoa.
Yeah.
That's like
I was
19. That's like 20 or 21.
Yeah, I think I was 22 when I started.
20. Yeah.
So I've been teaching a long time. This is actually my 20th year of teaching. So I actually have, last year was the first year that I had a 4th grader in Makerspace, and I had his mama when she was a 4th grade student. Isn't that crazy to think about? It's
Oh,
crazy to me to
speaking
think.
of like people who used to be at Reed Spring, my dad had a grade here in Reed Spring
Yeah,
in the intermediate.
Mr. Neville's had lots of kids that he had their parents in class. That was my first one last year. Isn't that crazy to think about, though? But Mrs. Shade is old enough that I had a student who now has a student that's both in 4th grade.
Student who is a student of a student.
Well, no, that would make me a grandma, I think. If I had a student of a student of a student. That would mean that the 4th grader last year was old enough to have a kid of their own. That's going to be a few years down the road. I'm not sure I'll still be teaching by that time. That would be like 20 more years down the road. I don't know, maybe I will still be teaching at that time. I love what I do. All right, so questions about, oh, I was going to show you one more thing with Seesaw that I forgot to show everybody this morning. In case you get booted out of Seesaw, I have made it to where you don't have to have the code that only lasts 1 hour, okay? So I'm going to share my
I
screen.
saw that. I
Good
actually
deal.
used it once. I
Good
saw
deal.
that. I used it.
So what you're going to do is you're going to go to classwork and you're going to go over here
It's
to where it
handy.
says Seesaw passwords. And then it will have a link to Seesaw, but then it will have an image to your password. And so I'm just going to show, well, Wessel, okay, I'm going to show holidays. So down here, there's a 16-digit code. All you have to do is punch in that 16-digit code when it asks for the class code, okay? And that is your own personal code to get you into Seesaw, okay? So, and this one never expires. So if you ever get booted out of Seesaw or you're getting onto a new device and it doesn't have Seesaw linked, you just have to go to your Seesaw password and type in that 16-digit code, okay? Adrian.
I have a comment.
Okay.
If you go back to Makerspace next year, there's a robotic claw at Walmart, so I thought maybe you could do that
Ooh,
in a
I'll have
grade.
to check that out.
You could build a robotic claw.
I'll have to check it out. Now, I have practiced
Yeah, I thought
making
I'd tell you.
practiced robotic hands before. So I'm curious
That's
to know if
cool.
the robotic claw is similar to the robotic hand.
Yeah, it's this little kids lab pincher that you get to build. I
Cool.
once got a build your own little can thing. It holds a little soda can,
Yes,
and you
it makes
get
a
to build
robot.
the motor, and then it would just run around.
Yep. Alexander, you got a question?
Speaking of the robotic claw thing, I actually have one. I built it already, and they're powered by water.
Cool. Nice. That's all good things to practice on, especially if you want to go into engineering when you get older. Okay. Questions on Love That Dog, now that you know how to get to it. Okay, so I do have office times between now and 11 o'clock. So if you are like, oh, I don't know what to do, or oh, I'm stuck on this, you jump back onto Zoom and I will see that you're there and I'll come join you, okay?
All I have left to do for now is the science.
Okay, sounds good. But if, like Lila, or not Lila, Addie earlier, I saw Lila up in my corner. Addie earlier was like, Mrs. Shade, I don't remember how to do the reasoning. And so she jumped back on Zoom and I helped her out. So if you're one of those kiddos, same thing. If you're like, I don't remember how to do this, just jump back on Zoom and I'll see that you're there and I'll get on, okay? Okay, I'll see you guys
You're
soon.
about to be.
I'll see you at Math Small Group today. Make sure you watch the math video before Math Small Group, okay?
Bye.
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 See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.